Welcome to another session of Fractures of Reality. Which this is, and I didn't say Followers of Mayhem for once. Hooray! And then
episode 1.
and then I just ruined it by
get a streak going.
yeah. I mean, then I just ruined it by doing this whole tryout, so yeah. Well, A for effort.
Whatever.
In the last session, Elnath was found guilty of, his crimes, but it's fine. He was not found guilty of kidnapping, so he didn't get the death penalty. He's just got community service, which is going to try and naturally run away from. But in this session, you all had a lovely night. A certain someone got a certain bag of slime.
I still love this picture.
This picture gives me life.
And
Yes,
I that is something I forgot to do, Neku. I promise I'll have it done by next week.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry. That's totally on me. I slipped my mind. Anyway.
Slime, we'll see another day.
Anyway, so we start this session with a sound and screaming, as you all watch as an elf is casually dragged from the lowest levels near the airships and docks all the way up to the royal palace. Corax, would you do the honors?
Is that our elf?
Oh, it's him.
Heck.
He looks like you, dear Corax, she says with a cheeky grin.
I know you think you're going to enjoy this, Jezebel. You're wrong. You are so wrong.
Elise?
Is he
related?
Is he really
That's
that
my
bad
little-
compared to? Is he that bad compared to her?
Okay, out of character. Who are you referring to by her?
Me?
Oh, right. Ace. He is an idiot. He has humiliated the family on countless occasions. And I dare not think what he's been getting, what he got up to on this last trek. He was a friend of the Poppycocks, Ryu.
So,
That's my idea.
since you controlled him in the
already.
other...
No offense, Corax, but I hate him already.
No.
Guys,
And that's good. You should.
guys.
Yeah.
Since you controlled him in the other game, Redwood, I'm gonna let you control him in this situation as well.
All right.
So yeah,
Oh boy.
and he walks right by. He is dragged right by your group, and yes, he's in ropes.
Yeah. Oh, come on! Oh, come now! You could at least get rid of these ropes those savages bound me in. Can I have his character sheet real fast for rolls?
Sure, I'll give it to you and such. Can be edited
boy.
and controlled by Corax. There you go.
Thank you. Unhand me! Do you know who I am?
Yes, we know who you are, sir.
We're good. Now put me down.
Just what kind of watches intriguing? She goes, well, I know I can be a bit obnoxious sometimes, but I know I'm not that bad.
You should see him. You should see him when he's happy. That was Corax who said that.
Okay.
And how often does that happen?
Far too often. Well, I'd better be at the palace to greet my dear brother. And Korax is gonna head off towards the palace.
I'm not gonna have to worry about him shoving a gun in my face, am I?
I doubt
Think
he'll
so.
even notice you're there.
I don't think so.
Wow, he really thinks that poorly of others?
It's more... he does not think of others at all.
Oh, he's a narcissist. Okay.
I'm sure he thinks of something, Jezebel says with a small smirk. I'm curious to find out.
And, you know, I think that could actually be quite entertaining. Go nuts. I must wait to receive him as is proper.
Okay.
Wait for me! Jezebel said that she skips after Korax, looking quite
Says, I'm
eager.
gonna come too.
Not sure you'll be
Unless you
allowed.
go, I don't.
Not sure. If you actually want to meet him for some reason, maybe do it later. And maybe later. Or this is something the family is supposed to do. Maybe stick by. Maybe you guys can stay close so you can catch him when all this is over.
What is that going to be the best part?
I have no idea what Jezebel's planning to do with him.
Depends, really, but I also just want to see how this is going to turn out.
All right.
Cicada is also curious, but also rather concerned.
Just a fellow hunter. Of hunter to hunter talk, so to speak. But first, I'm curious to see what exactly he's being taken back for.
Alright,
We'll talk about the talking later.
so who isn't going with Korax to the royal palace?
Me.
Alrighty. You can watch El Nathan help him pick up rubbish as part of his community service while a guard watches.
You
Okay.
sure? You sure?
I wouldn't. Charlotte would never go near the royal palace willingly.
Yeah, fair enough.
Charlotte,
Not even just a look.
Charlotte, psst, Charlotte, you gotta get me out of here.
Oh my god.
Oh no.
Come on,
That's a very interesting situation, Elnath.
God, please,
Don't-
Charlotte,
don't-
are we friends?
Hey. Like, hey, off the distance you hear, just wait until my father hears about this.
Don't waste your breath, grandfather. Charlotte's a soldier.
I can make something that might help it make it easier for you.
Well,
But that'll give me probably about 5 days, maybe.
5 days? But I have to pick all this up by hand.
Oh, yeah, about that. Yeah. It's not on my priority, so that's why it's gonna take 5 days.
Not on your
Otherwise, it might take 10 minutes.
priorities.
It could take 10 minutes, but 5 days sounds about right.
Charlotte. Okay, I'll teach you magic. How about that? Would you like to learn some magic?
Summons a rifle.
I mean, other sorts of magic.
This is all I need.
This is worse than when those fool tutors tried to teach me magic.
Oh my god.
He's an arcane archer because he flunked out of the actual magic classes.
Oh, he flunked out of wizard college? Oh jeez.
And
Oh,
Guys.
You think he actually got into wizard
Guys.
college? It's more like he flunked out in
Guys.
first grade.
we'll get to you guys in a moment. I just want to have a little bit of time with Charlotte before we get to that stuff.
Right.
Okay.
Surely there's something I can do to convince you?
Charlotte taps her chin in thought. Squints up to the sky.
I'll do anything.
Anything you say.
Well, I mean,
God.
oh well, now I shot myself in the foot there, so I'll just say yes.
I think you've
What
already shot
kinda-
yourself in the foot too many times, old man.
Guys, come on.
Okay.
What kind of thing, embarrassing secret does Mr. Ryu have?
Oh, I mean, I'd actually hesitate at that.
No, don't worry. I have a recorder on you, so go ahead and say it.
Oh, I just, if I say this,
No. It's perfectly fine. Go ahead.
If I say this, you will make the device to make this less of a, less, I've got shit on my hands.
Don't worry. I'll make it easier for you. I promise.
You promise.
In like 10 minutes flat. Maybe an hour. Could be 2 days. But regardless, it will be easy.
Alright. One time... You're fine. One time when he was very young, he actually, well, we had this pet dog named Barkus. And,
Aw.
he wanted to be a legendary fighter, so he made this little tiny saddle for the dog, and he would ride Barkus around the garden.
Oh, that's an interesting story. Not juicy enough, so I'll give me an hour though. And then Charlotte just pressed pause on the tape recorder. Thank you.
So you'll be back in 10 minutes, right?
Yeah, roughly. Well, give or take.
Roughly.
Don't worry, I'll be fine.
Charlotte, you are killing this man.
I just want Jezebel to laugh one more time.
You're not a lizard right now. Why?
Alright, so that'll do it for Charlotte for now. We'll come back to you in a little bit. But meanwhile, at the gate, the rest are going to be there to wait and receive our lovely Adigen. Agian, there we go. Sorry, it's been a bit.
Did you say Asian?
No,
Oh,
I said Agian. But, like, Aegean.
And she stumbled on the pronunciation of it.
Yeah,
Don't worry about it.
basically.
it's fine.
Anyway. Adrian is escorted inside the gates, dragged to the front gate, and then they untie him and just lightly shove him inside and then walk away.
And okay, Korax.
I try to.
Yes?
Yeah, so Korax is just waiting for him, staring silently, eye twitching a little. Ah, Korax! Been a while! Sister! Sister! You would not believe the hardship I have been. The savage. All I wanted to do was hunt some. It was hunt some special lions or whatever. And the savages tied me up. Can you believe it? Korax is just staring at him, trying not to lose his temper, not saying a word. And
Jessica kind of just silently watches as she like taps her chin, looking thoughtful at these hunts apparently they're doing.
Are you saying you tried to hunt the Leonin?
and you are nowhere near them right now.
Oh.
Yeah, we're outside.
Yeah, this is
All
a
right.
personal station.
Ah, fine.
Like Korax, yeah, like and well, a very one-sided personal conversation.
Sounds
Because Korax is just not saying a word, just glaring at him.
it sounds like it's for the best right now.
So,
Oh, what else can we do while we're waiting? I want to hear listen in on this.
And and oh, and even after that Black Sun ended, they wouldn't feed me anything but fish. Oh, and Rudy was her as her usual unhelpful self. And the satyr, she knew who on my plate. She still left me tied up. You believe me? Savages, the lot of them out east. And yeah, this goes on.
eventually, you manage to convince him to go and talk to Mother about it, and Aegean heads inside. And what were you saying, Cicada?
I was thinking of using elevated sight, but it seems the moment has passed.
Yeah. You would have been able to use it during the talks, and yeah. Either way, correct?
Okay.
Yeah, like that went on for a good 10 minutes, so you could absolutely have done that.
Yeah. So what do you do now?
Alright, like, whatever crowd is gathered. Nothing more to see here. Like, Korax is visibly trying to keep herself under control.
Oh boy. Korax is mad.
I was looking for Rudy for almost a year. It was a year I didn't have to deal with him. It was such a good year.
What happened?
Just what kind of snickers where she goes, sorry. Just the way you said it. You really don't like him, do you?
Do you know what he... Do you know... I know something of the Valley of Life and Death where he was. Do you know what he tried... Do you know what he did to get tied up?
What?
He tried to hunt a sacred animal.
Sacred animal?
Ooh. You don't want to do that.
What check would that be? To see how much Ryu knows about the Valley of Life and Death.
Considering you came from the west, you would not know much of anything except that it's very dangerous.
Fair enough.
It's some kind of some really big species of lion. That's about all I know about it.
So, what do you guys do now?
So Jezebel, you
Good
want to talk to him?
Do I have permission?
Say again, out of character. I didn't quite catch that.
She asked if she
So
had
I-
permission.
Oh, if you want to.
Alright, so you escort her inside to the palace?
Sure.
Alright.
I just have a few small questions for him, that's all. From one hunter to another, I'd like to see what exactly he's found.
By the time you guys catch up to him, he's currently complaining to the cook about the quality of the food that he had to endure, and that this food better be top quality.
To be fair, nothing but fish for several weeks would kind of start to make you a bit sick of it.
That is true.
Regardless, Jezebel?
Oh, a picky
Hello,
eater, I see.
Adrian. Yeah, Adjian, this is my friend Jezebel. She wanted to meet you. Good day. And Gorax walks off. But that. Oh, you don't want to talk too? No. All right. So,
Hello, dear. You can call me Jezebel.
Okay, and you may call me Lord Adjian.
Lord. Doesn't quite seem to suit you very well, but as you wish. But then again, you are quite a picky eater, though. The fact that you're demanding such things when obviously it's good to have food overall.
And have you? And they would feed me nothing but fish for 3 weeks.
You should probably hire your own personal chef, like me.
His eyes light up. His eyes actually light up a bit. That a woman of culture.
Indeed,
dear.
she says with her hands
Better-
behind her back, giving a smile.
Better company than I thought my dear sister now capable of keeping.
Just
Seriously,
continues.
She's always fraternizing with common soldiers and knights. Can you believe it?
Well, they do make interesting companies sometimes, but it can be a little hard to get them to do certain things because of their morals, she says with quotation marks.
Yeah. Yes. The Order of the Dragon and its damnable honor code.
So, I'm going to quickly pause you there and go back to Charlotte.
Did you know he actually pays his parking fare? It's adorable, isn't it?
Alright, so I'm gonna pause you both briefly there and I'm gonna head it back over to Charlotte. Charlotte, it's been 10 minutes.
I have made a metal hook for Elmap. One that's a retractable claw, per se.
Okay,
Hey, I have one of those.
you bring it over to him?
I do.
In real life, I mean.
They're nice.
They are nice.
This one's metal. Completely not metal, not plastic, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you so much.
No worries on that, but, Elnath, but you, missed a spot right over there.
His eye
Right
twitches. Right.
So,
Thank you very much.
also, can you read me a book later?
He just quietly turns and begins to pick up the trash.
I would like you to read The Rabbit and the Battlefield Tactics to me.
He continues to pick up the trash.
I seem to remember only nobles are can demand that.
I know, I'm just messing with them at this point.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Alright. So, I will leave that there, and instead, we're going to hop over briefly to Korax. Korax. You visit, God, I'm so bad with names. Good thing I wrote it down, but still, man. I really got a bit. Beverly.
I mean, Korax honestly really isn't going anywhere right now. She's kind of just trying to clear her head.
Anyway, Korax, as you're passing through the palace, you run into Vevre, your father's advisor, who informs you that your father has arrived back safely and is in his office.
Oh. Well, she takes just a deep breath. As he is not the only one who's arrived.
Yes, I heard the commotion at the gates.
Well, if you would tell Father, well, if you're going over to him, tell Father I'll be with him in a bit. I just need to calm down first.
Very well. Anyway, back to you then, Jezebel.
And they didn't even have proper beds, just hammocks.
Well, part of the journey is the experience, but yeah, it can be kind of hazardous and very rugged after a while, but it's nice to come home. Although I can see your homecoming was a little rough.
I know. Can you believe it? They left me tied up.
Well, there is such a thing as timeout, dear. Not to call you a child, but you were making quite a fuss.
You look so good. Well, I've been wronged and I was protesting. Is that do I not have the right to do that?
Well, it kind
By
of
the way,
depends on what you.
Another thing about Adjun, he has no indoor voice.
Yeah, I can tell. I can already tell. Jezebel just kind of gives a small touch. She goes, well, it also depends on the reason why.
He stares at you uncomprehendingly.
She just kind of clears her voice. She goes,
it strikes you that you are not dealing with a particularly intelligent man here.
oh, definitely not. I'm learning that very quickly. She just goes, what was it that you were tied up for, dear? What exactly were you hunting? From one hunter to another.
Oh, the fleeceman lion. And magnificent specimens native to the Valley of Life and Death. Native only to the remote headwaters of the Great River.
Jezebel gives a gasp as she actually looks interested.
I almost had them. And I almost had them too if it weren't for those meddling Leonin.
Oh, you met Leonin? And these beasts, what do they look like?
Well, they're like lions, but yes, I did meet the Leonin. They are savages, but the lions, oh, they are magnificent, and they look not unlike ordinary lions, but almost twice as large, with very long, very white manes. One could make knit the finest cloth. One could knit the finest cloth from those manes. Although personally, I think the trophy on the wall would be missing something without them.
Well, I can imagine. They sound like majestic beasts.
Oh, they are.
All right.
I had just gotten a glimpse. I had one in my sight. I sights when 3 of those bloody savages just came out of nowhere and wrestled me down.
All right. Gonna quickly pause you there. Cicada for you and Clara. What are you guys doing?
I'm hearing the yelling from all the way up here. Or just muffled yelling.
Yeah, you are.
Okay.
I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah, you guys
Very loud.
You guys can hear this conversation. He's not exactly quiet.
That's why I'm asking him a lot of questions.
Half of the conversation. So I don't think dear Jezebel is as loud as the other participants.
Regardless, what are you guys doing?
Yeah. You're just kind of waiting at this point.
Okay. Charlotte? Are you still chasing out Nate? Niku?
Sorry about that. That was muted. Anyway, Charlotte just heads on, trying to find the others at this point. Seeing that the teasing of Elmace is kind of getting stale at this point now. That'll work for Charlotte's time.
You are able to follow the sounds of the loud and vocal voice of the brother of Korax. And my cat is being all crazy, but yeah, you're able to catch up to the others.
Right, Charlotte.
What's going on over here?
Just a
Jezebel.
man who can't keep his mouth shut having a conversation with a devil.
Devil woman.
Charlotte stares at the royal palace and just simply frowns for a bit. I see.
Alright.
And you guys are just waiting outside here for a bit then?
For now, until Jezebel and Corex come back.
Alright. Assuming Jezebel is still not bored of the... Was that my cat? No, I don't think it was. I think it was... sorry, I got distracted. Corax, what are you doing?
And having calmed down a bit, Corax makes her way up to her father's office.
Alright. Okay. You open the door, and it's as if the room drops like 5 degrees the moment you enter. His stern expression stares right at you as you enter, and he gives a brief nod. Corax?
And Father, there's been some. It's good to see you again. I wish I could say that about everyone today.
Did you need something?
I would like a look at the family's finances, if I may.
Very well. He slowly stands up, and then he walks over to your mother, his wife, Velith Elisay, and she hands him the key, which he takes, and then he escorts you towards the vault where he uses the keys to open it up. The inside of the vault is filled with, well, gold and treasure, of course. But there's also a section dedicated to documents and official information, that sort of thing.
And yeah, Korax makes a beeline for the records, and how much
Oh my God.
how much is there? How dense is it?
It's several years, so it's pretty dense. It is odd to see you taking an interest in our finances.
And it's a bit of an odd situation. Let's just say something come up, and I need something came up, and I need to take a close look at these, just for the sake of my own peace of mind, as it were.
What sort of situation?
In hints that some hints that are hints that there may be some maybe some hints that there may be some shenanigans going on. I'm not entirely sure, but I'd like some time to look these over.
Very well. He takes the keys, but leaves the vault open, motioning a couple of guards over to just, keep an eye on things, and he heads back to his office.
Yeah.
So, state what you're looking for and roll your investigation.
Yeah, who did Charlotte say he was taking money from? Again?
I'll let Neku answer this one, because I don't want to accidentally give metagame knowledge.
Charlotte stated that the family was taking unnecessary brides from the boss in particular.
And well, and yeah, and the boss, like this is a fairly well-known figure, and you're in our own world, right?
No.
No.
As far as I know, no.
Oh, the boss. Okay.
Yeah.
Like okay, okay. Like I thought you were referring to that rabbit. I thought you were referring to the rabbit folk military commander, and I was a bit confused. Right. So we'll start by taking a good. I'm going to start by taking a good look at payments from anyone outside the Dominion.
Alright. Roll me an investigation.
Right. Is there anything I could use to aid this? I don't dare use Tides of Chaos here. Just gonna have to roll it and pray. Well.
Hey,
Yay!
Oh, by the
don't get
way,
used to that luck.
in regards to in regards to the in regards to Ajian's attitude toward the Leonin, please see the British Empire.
Oh.
Anyway, you leaf through the recent outgoing and incoming funds and requests for financing, and a name pops up. Money being delivered to them and from them on occasion. MB. MB. There's official names like Elfenstein, Mick Warrior Guy, and regular names.
Yeah, like.
And then there's just the two initials, MB. Going back, at least for the brief bit of investigation you did, at least several years.
Okay, MB. I am looking through NPCs to see if that matches. He's right now to see if that matches anyone we know. Yeah, MB. You say?
Yes.
Okay. Hey, just checking I didn't mishear MP or anything. Alright. I'm not seeing it. Well, no one in the NPC list. MB. Does those initials mean anything to me?
Oop, wrong character, but just in case, because I know my B sometimes sounds like a P.
Yeah. So, yeah. So, MB, did those initials mean anything whatsoever to me?
Roll history or intelligence.
That makes absolutely no difference to me. Hey, I've been doing good at this, and now that I say that, I probably jinxed it.
No.
While the initials aren't anything you recognize, your father would probably be able to tell you exactly who it is. Seeing as he's the one that writes these reports. Well, him and his advisor, of course, Fevre.
Well, well, no, time like the present, I guess. So I'm gonna close the book. Okay, put it back in its place. It's close the door carefully, and make sure like everything is secured away properly. And then head over to my father.
Alright. The door automatically locks the moment you close it, and the guards confirm that it is indeed locked, and then they, head on their way. Like, they still have a guard out the front, but it's not like as needed to be guarded as it is when it's open.
And yeah, so I head back to my father.
Yep, you head back, knocking on the door, and you open it.
And all right, father. So I've looked my heart's content. It was and there were some initials that kept coming up. MB. Who does that refer to, if I may ask?
He leans forward onto his desk and folds his arm and rests his head on his um uh, on his hands as he looks straight at you, and he simply says, "That is the mafia boss."
And I see. And why exactly do we have dealings with them?
He moves to stand and walks over to you.
Is this going to be a lecture about how the way the world really works, father?
You are the one who never wanted to have interest in our line of work.
And let me ask again, father. What is the extent of your relationship?
Mutually beneficial.
And details, please.
We pay them, and they pay us on occasion.
For what? Information? Targets killed?
Both.
And how much has the family profited from this arrangement?
It is the reason why we are still royals. You don't really think running a city pays well, do you?
And suppose not.
It hasn't paid well since those heroes decided that humans are no longer lower class. We have had to pay more to people, and that means less is coming in.
And well, and that's and well, well, then you. I see. Be that as it may, eh, eh, you are going to withdraw your relationship with them, father. And there is an ice in Corax's voice now that her father has probably never heard from her, or him at the time.
He turns and sits back down and just lifts an eyebrow. And why exactly should I do that?
The wild magic glows just a bit in Corax's eyes. It's bubbling up, father. I have suppressed it as you wished for over 150 years, but I cannot keep it from growing any longer. You know of what I speak. Now, of course, I will keep it hidden, as much as I can. And for the sake of the family's reputation, of course. But if we're going to act dishonorably in this way, then perhaps the family's reputation is no longer any of my concern.
So you are threatening me.
And you have 1 year to to withdraw. You have 1 year to sever all ties and air all the connections away. Then I will be back, and I will be checking again. And I'm sure I will not find. And I'm sure I will find nothing but honest and honorable dealings with those on the right side of the law. Have a nice day, Father. And Korax leaves the room.
Oof.
That elf of yours. You should keep a better eye on him.
Say again. And you kind of cut out a bit there.
That elf of yours. You should keep a better eye on him.
The gray-haired one? He's not mine. And keeps walking.
Very well. You head out?
I do.
I imagine you meet up with Jezebel and Achian having a very loud conversation.
I do. Like, Jezebel, as this goes on, and like, hey, 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 Adjin, like, turns around and said, Korax, come to join in our conversation. And Jezebel, you look at you see Korax, and you don't even have to roll investigation. You don't even have to roll insight or anything, because you see in his eyes he's perfectly calm. In his eyes, it's the kind of calmness that can only come when you are absolutely livid.
Ooh.
Jezebel's kind of fake smile, so to speak, kind of drops a bit as she notices, of course, the slight, like, almost like bloodlust just kind of dripping out of Korax right now. And she gives a small soft smile. She goes, seems that Korax would rather go out than talk for a bit. So let's let him go ahead. Let's let her go ahead and go.
Are you talking to Adjian?
Of course. Of course. Sir. Sir, do please introduce me to the chef of yours. He sounds delightful. You didn't mention he was a kobold, by the way.
No, I did not. And that was intentional.
Yep.
Oh boy.
He sounds delightful. I'm sure his food must be exquisite.
I
And,
got-
Indeed.
After about, say, 5 minutes after Korax passes, a guide walks over to Adjian and says, "Your father has requested an audience."
Someone's in trouble.
Oh dear. Seems someone needs a lecture now from their father.
I'm sure it's not. I'm sure it's nothing, and he is not very good at hiding the fear in his eyes.
Yeah.
Jezebel actually seems kind of happy, seeing him kind of afraid. So for now, she gives him a big smile. She goes, well, before you go, dear, I just have one request, if I may, from one hunter to another. If you happen to go on any more hunts in the future, please give me a heads up. I would love to join you.
Yes, I did stumble across a very maybe back in the Valley of Life and Death. I'm sure they'll have forgotten me, and I did stumble across a very nice hunting lodge in there at one point.
Oh
Very
god.
well stocked.
She kind of narrows her eyes a bit, still smiling. She goes, all right, sounds well. do keep in touch with me. Now, I am a rogue deer, so if you happen to see any thieves guilds or anything like that, just send them a message and they'll get it right to me.
Thieves, you would have me deal with criminals?
It is not a good idea to keep your father waiting, sir.
I'm coming. I'm coming.
Just letting you know, dear, after all, it's the quickest way to get hold of me, and to be fair, they do keep secrets a lot better than royal guards.
And, oh, I'm sure. Oh, I'm sure they're fine. And right, gentlemen? He says to the royal guards.
Sure. Shall we head inside, sir?
Yeah, yes, sure.
Isabel gives another shrug and then just casually spins on her heel and then just gives a little, like, pep in her step as she walks out.
Alright. So, again, this was 5 minutes after Korax left, so you're lagging a little bit behind. I'll let you decide when you enter the conversation, though. Just be aware you're a little bit behind, Jezebel. Regardless, Korax, you rejoin the others.
I imagine.
Are you okay, Korax?
This has been a day.
I'll bet.
You alright, love?
Did you find what you were looking for?
Unfortunately, yes.
Oh.
How bad is it?
In, in bad enough that I had to make. Let's just say I've given him a certain choice.
An ultimatum?
Yes, one which I will not repeat in public while we are anywhere in this city.
Okay.
Chloe just gives you this confused look and then shrugs.
Charlotte is there as well, if there's anything you want to say to Charlotte.
Charlotte just crosses her arms. She looks to Korax.
I thank you, Commander, for bringing this to my attention.
It only costs me or my other half's life, but at least it's been taken care of. That much I'll thank you
Maybe.
for.
Father values tradition in our family more than anything.
You cut out. Could you repeat that?
And I have threatened to torch both unless he cleans up the act.
Ledward, you cut out.
What?
Could you repeat that?
Father, above all, Father values tradition and our family. And I have threatened to torch both unless he cleans up the act.
When a person's backed to a corner, Korax, you learn that they're a lot more capable than you realize. Let's see the results of that.
I know. I know what my father is capable of. I have looked up to him for most of my life. Now, I'd like to go somewhere. I'd like to go and think. I'd like to go off somewhere and think about absolutely anything else, if that would be all right.
Sounds good to me. Jezebel says she catches up. I would rather forget that whole conversation I had.
Oh,
I never had
You've experienced it in full, then, have you?
More so, I have not been needing to butter up a noble in quite some time. He made it very easy.
So he did.
He was very loud.
Indeed. But
I don't know.
I can
I don't know if
definitely
you'll-
say he's not much of a threat, though. That's a threat, or a very good hunter if he can get caught that easy.
he's the kind of he is what might be politely referred to as a gentleman hunter, which means he has an entourage. Which means he prefers to do it with an entourage and a bunch of dogs.
Indeed, which is why, and she gives a bit of a bow, she points to herself with a wink, I invited him to invite me next time if he ever goes on another hunt. So, should I happen to get a notice from him, you'll be the first to know, dear Corax.
You deliberately he offered to spend more time with him.
Just to make sure that he doesn't get into any trouble.
Right. Well.
I mean, suffice to say, I will try to make sure he doesn't get out of trouble, but if we happen to get caught again, could be anybody's fault. She gives a smirk.
Yes. Well, you'll be happy to know that my sister Arari is far more bearable. So, if you run into her, honestly, I think you'd actually like her.
Oh? As much as my dear cicada.
Oh. The birds could much.
As much as you like the mirror version of yourself.
Ooh, I don't know whether to feel threatened or intrigued.
Yeah.
Well, I have no idea where she is right now. She's not in the palace often. So, but who knows?
Well, either way, I did get the fact that he's not much of a threat that I had to worry about completely, but he could give me some leads to some other hunters that I could track down, especially if they are the kind that I'm looking for. He, no offense, but good for him, is not, so I won't need to have to use... Well, to be fair, with how much he was talking, I was half tempted to try to put this, she holds up the purple worm poison she still has, down his throat.
God. Please don't.
Don't get your don't get yourself executed over him, Jezebel. He is not worth it.
She gives another shrug and puts it away. I've been called and threatened far worse, and I managed to come this far, so wouldn't be the first time I've tried to poison a village, let alone a person. She gives a snarky
No.
remark.
No, don't remind me of that. No. Ah.
She just smiles all the same and then just starts to again casually walk forward with her hands behind her back with a smile. Well then, what's our next course of action then?
I heard some people wanted their minds cleared, so would you like to listen to some music?
I, for one, don't mind, though I do feel we should probably move on soon. I'm not overly fond of being around a lot of hoity-toity nobles. No offense, dear Corax.
I kind of agree with you at the moment. Let's go.
I need to check on my grandfather anyway. I can't take my eyes off him for 5 seconds.
Maybe we could convince the guard to entrust him into our care to watch.
So, who goes with Ryu to check on Elnath?
I would see how the guy's doing.
I'll go too. I need to take my mind off of absolutely everything right now.
Yeah, I need to check on him too. I'm just gonna glance, make sure he's okay, and then I'm gonna head to get a drink.
Alright. So as you all move to approach Elnath, you notice that the area is substantially cleaner where he's been working, and his expression is distant, as if he's in deep thought.
Oh, he's in the zone. Okay.
Wow, you did all this yourself the entire time we were gone? I'm impressed.
Well, the guards are watching me, so I'm forced to. Say, I've just been thinking. You said the wards on Rudy's house were still up, right? Still active?
No.
Yes.
They're still. And
Well, did you at least check if they were up, is what I'm asking.
They were. Oh, they were a few hours ago. Oh, that reminds me. DM. At the end of the last session, I just like glanced around Rudy's home, seeing if there were any ritual spell scrolls that she had lying around that I might borrow and borrow for Cicada's use.
I don't have any money to use it, though, is the thing.
Well, not at the moment, but
Roll investigation.
wow.
You did manage to find one. I'll tell you what it is later, though, because I'll have to actually... I'll add it to the list right up with Charlotte's things, because I actually forgot about that as well.
Yeah.
So
Don't
I'll have
feel
it.
bad about
I'll
that.
have it ready by next
I
week.
literally only remembered it when you mentioned Rudy's house.
Anyway, so the wards were up last you checked.
And they were up a few hours ago, at least. I was there.
And your sister is very big on security, yes?
Yes.
He
Well, he's very big on being left alone, which isn't always entirely the same thing.
He briefly stops picking up the trash, and he has this small frown on his face. So, by that logic, the only one who could have gotten into your sister's house is someone that knew how to get past, is someone who either had permission or knew how to get past the wards. Is that correct?
And if you're thinking of the maids, they've already testified under a zone of truth. Of course, they may not have been asked the right questions.
I'm not saying the maids per se. More just... It's very odd that the wards are still up and active if she was kidnapped. He just gives a shrug and goes back.
Those wards are designed to last a long time. Like, she wasn't the one who installed them.
I think, dear Corax.
Go ahead.
No, I'm not entirely trying to put words into dear Ilmi's mouth, so to speak, but she gives a bit of a thoughtful look. She goes, "You could be hinting at the fact that perhaps somebody else has been sustaining those wards that could enter the house."
Wouldn't they?
Now,
Wouldn't they
my
become a
family-
person of?
Rudy was the only real mage in the family, so... And not a lot of people outside the family could really do it.
I'm not entirely saying outside the family, dear.
Ryu, you were going to say something?
Well, who did you...
Corax. Ryu? Ryu?
Not to mention, wouldn't somebody going near Rudy's house after the kidnapping come off as suspicious?
So then, wouldn't somebody who probably wouldn't be as suspicious going to the house not be considered? So they say somebody in the family.
And maybe, but again, to what end?
That is the question, isn't it?
You also gotta look at the reason and how they escaped. It would take a teleportation to escape the house and begin with, would it not? Unless it did at the dead of night.
Well,
There's also
Any-
plane shifting.
that
Yeah.
that would require. You're implying an archmage broke into my sister's house, and he's breaking into my sister's house. There's certainly okay. Like I know there's no real mages apart from Rudy in my immediate family. What about the royal family? They've got anyone like that?
I've got a few on hand, mostly just in case they need things like, for example, having the wards made, you know, making sure that the vault is protected.
Okay. Anyone
Like,
who would have access to Rudy's house?
like, Fevra actually knows a little bit of, magic.
A little bit, you say.
Well, you never really talk to him much, so. Outside of, where's my father, can I talk to him, you know? So you don't really know how much he knows.
Well, perhaps I shall test this. Test this.
Yes?
I have no idea. I have no idea. I say that, but I have no idea when they'll be back next.
Look, I'm not. Elnith eventually speaks up.
Wait.
Look, I'm not saying anything. But if they had the evidence to convict me, then. And it wasn't me. We all know that.
Yes.
Then it had to have been someone else who also had access to the house.
That's her family.
Yep.
Yeah, that's me, the rest of the immediate family, the maids.
Whoever made the wards?
DM, do I know who exactly made the wards?
Roll a history check with. Yeah, just a general history check.
And there's okay, yeah.
You didn't really ask too much about Rudy's personal life. Like, she was always very much, I don't want to talk about it. So
I don't know. I have no idea who made her wards. I mean, she could have hired someone from. She could have hired someone from outside at the palace for all I know.
Maybe we could ask her.
If we ever find her.
Unless the password can be changed, then it's totally possible the person who made it came back and just used it.
We're speculating a little too much with a large group of people here. That's the issue. You don't have any evidence to collect. We don't know what actually happened fully. We don't even know if they escaped by teleportation magic or if they just walked out in the dead of night. Not enough witnesses, and that's where our main issue is at.
you're right.
If someone is.
Go on.
If someone is coming by to maintain the wards, then just waiting there long enough, if we would eventually find them.
You
How long would that be?
I have no clue.
I will say that you're right, Charlotte. This is all just silly speculation. In the end, it doesn't really matter what happened, I suppose. I just had a lot of time to think with just picking up all this trash.
Insight.
Don't you have mage hand?
Oh my god, I have mage hand!
Okay,
Totally forgot he had mage hand.
You actually see Korax laugh at that. Like, there's a bit of the tension in him, and well, I mean her. just seems to break at that one.
Why
Grandfather,
did you ask me to
Here.
make something for you to help you with trash if you had mage hand?
What? Shut up, okay?
What are you like? What are you like? 10 in elf years?
I'm
that would explain a lot, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
not that young.
You're younger than me.
Well, maybe you're just old.
167 is not old. It's the equivalent. It's the equivalent of the human's mid-20s.
He just glowers at Corax.
Jezebel looks a little lost in thought, but saying that Elnith is okay and that he's starting to whine, she just gives a wave. She starts to watch. She goes, "Well, enjoy the rest of your community service."
Jezebel,
Hmm.
you have connections, correct?
Well enough. What do you need to know?
Just to settle this case and let it rest, ask a little bit about it with your connections. See what you pull up.
She gives a bit of a smirk as she goes, "Like I wasn't about to do that already." And then she waves again and starts to head off.
I guess I can follow her, but while I'm doing that, back at the
Isn't it?
trial, when they showed Elnath that cultist symbol, would Cicada have remembered it and tried writing it down?
Considering you like to write everything down, yes, you would. It's
Okay.
it's the symbol of way back in the beginning. You all visited a certain rock with some cultists,
It's the Earth cult. Okay.
and they mentioned a fire cult.
And it's the fire cult. The fire cult kidnapped her. Okay, got it.
Yeah, the fire cult kidnapped her, and then the earth cult kidnapped her from the fire cult, and
She escaped.
basically.
Presumably.
Yeah.
But yeah, they did briefly show you the fire cult symbol, I believe. It was a long time ago,
Yeah.
but I believe they did.
They
Yeah.
wanted
Okay.
they wanted to verify if Elnath recognized it or not.
And he didn't. So, I think Cicada's gonna go just try to look some stuff up about this so-called fire cult.
Alright, what are the rest of you doing?
Anyway, Ryu's gonna take is gonna take that chance to remark. Two cults gunning for one person. Just what do they want with her?
And like, hey, looks. Korax just looks at her hand, and with it's got the dragon mark on the back of it. Well, some magic. Maybe they wanted the magical blood for some reason.
Oh yeah, you're a girl now, aren't you? So, Jezebel and Cicada head down south to 123 Fake Street, which Jezebel, you know, is the Thieves Guild.
Oh, it's all the way over to the bottom left here.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
The street isn't even real.
Basically, but perfect place to have a thieves guild. She just kind of strolls around. She goes, "Luckily, this hoity-toity place has an actual thieves guild. Hopefully, they'll be good enough as my usual contacts."
You enter the place and you find it's just a small, it's just a small general store, like they're selling plants and, you know, some furniture, that sort of thing. The prices are all ridiculous, of course.
Has to be expected.
The one at the front desk goes, "Ah, yes, hello. How can I help you this fine day?"
We're looking for a little bit of information, if possible.
"Ah, a little bit of information. Would that be about shoes by any chance?"
I think I know what's going on here.
Thieves' cant is going on here.
Yes.
Yeah, thieves can't. And Cicada
Well.
doesn't understand.
Well, I
Anyway,
do love the ones I have now since they were given to me, but I wouldn't mind seeing some options.
I see. What sort of shoes are you in the market for?
The local ones. I like to I like to know a little bit about the different kinds of things that go on around here based off of brands, maybe a little bit of like secret ones that could be limited edition.
I see. Well, we do indeed have some limited edition shoes that would be. I think we can definitely get one in your size. But these will of course cost money. Do you have, say, I believe our standard price is 5 gold, but for the pair of shoes you're looking for, it would probably be around 10 gold.
Well, with the information I'm looking for, it's definitely would be worth it. So why not? I'm
Alright.
pretty sure I can get quality stuff with you.
Alright, very well. Just come on by this back room right here and we will fit you for the shoes.
Would it be alright if I bring a guest with me? She also requires some, maybe not shoes, but probably some other things that could be of value as well.
I see.
Talon guard?
With feet like hers, I'm a little concerned that we might not be able to fit her with the right pair of shoes. Are you sure that?
Sure.
Are you certain that we can be trusted with the shoes that you require?
But of course, she is. She gives the kid a big old hug. She is my special partner after all.
Alright.
I'm
She
a size
kind of goes
11.
with telepathy. Alright, she's going to talk to Jezebel telepathy and ask, going on? I don't understand.
Well, while that's being asked, the man at the counter gives a nod and then says, "Alright, very well, head on back through the room and our specialist will begin fitting you with the shoes."
Oh, wonderful! And then she grabs she pays the 10, and then she gives a spare gold and flicks it to him. She goes, "Thank you for all the trouble, and for allowing me to bring my partner with me."
"Ma'am, you are very lovely."
Sorry, I'm taken. She hugs the kid closer, and she falls to the back.
Alright. So you head in and there's a small waiting area. You know, like, there's pictures of shoes and, you know,
There better be some Jordans.
there is a pair of Jordans.
Okay.
Hey.
My god.
Is
Fantasy
it pair of
Jordans.
Davids?
Oh, out of character. I actually saw somebody that had the Cell shoes from Dragon Ball Z.
My god.
They're the actual like Cell brand shoes that look like it. They were so cool. Sorry, I had to say.
Yeah, I believe they used to be, like, they used to sell them for kids, like, way back when that show was really popular.
No, this was an adult.
Yeah, I
Well-
know it was an
well,
adult,
you-
but what I mean is they used to sell those kinds of shoes back when Dragon Ball Z was very popular.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways.
So, the door closes behind you and there's a moment of silence before another guy walks in, you know, and you immediately recognize him.
Barton! I mean, you stand up, arms up, and I go over to try to hug him.
He, of course, steps to the
Dropping-
side.
You drop Cicada in the process.
I do, yeah, I'm sorry.
Ah, it's a pleasure to see you in this city. I was not expecting to find you here.
She gives a pout, and then she'll look over. She goes, "Oh, I'm sorry, Cicada. I'm so sorry. I got excited." And she helps her out.
Right, so I hear you
Did it-
are all
did-
in the market for some shoes, yes?
What is with shoes? I don't understand.
Oh, she gives Cicada a pound hand. She goes, "Don't worry, dear. It's actually a thief's thing."
I will have to
Oh.
give you shoes, though. The guards are very much watching over this store, so we have to make sure you actually leave with a pair of shoes.
Of course, of course. She says with a smile, and she goes, "Well, it's good to see you, Burton. I've missed you. It's been a little while."
Yes, I wasn't expecting to find you here in my investigations, but well, that's neither here nor there. I do have some work for you if you're interested, but that can wait. Shall I prepare the shoes for you? And he actually waves a hand, and this dry and normal looking man just kneels down and begins to actually size you and start preparing your shoes.
Perfect,
And
dear. Usually I wouldn't be here, but we did have a bit of a reason that involves my line of work.
all right, well, very well. You may ask your questions, and well, we will see what we can do.
Well, I have some questions myself, and then my dear partner here, Cicada, also has some. Now I know shoes for her can be a little hard, so maybe think of maybe some braces or something for her legs. Those are considered shoes, right?
We actually do have a shoe type for boat folk and racers with unique feet. What we do is we just leave the sole of the shoe and just keep it covering the top. So it looks like a
Perfect.
shoe, but it keeps their feet clear so they can move around as needed.
Perfect. You're getting shoes as well, dear Cicada. We can match.
Okay.
So, your questions?
So then, dear Bertrand, do you know anything about a kidnapping?
Oh, there's many kidnappings in a city this large.
This one of the noble variety, so to speak.
Ah, I see. You were talking about dear Rudy, yes?
Oh, so you know her?
Oh, who doesn't know of the royal family's daughter that got kidnapped?
Indeed, it would seem that one of our traveling companions was accused, and we managed to get him at least past the death sentence. But I have a sinking suspicion about the wards that were found there, so to speak. In fact, if you want to secure, do you mind showing him what you drew?
Yeah. And she does show him the picture of the fire cultist symbol.
I see, I see. Well, the information you require is a little pricey, but we can definitely work something out. However, are there any other questions you wish to know?
One thing, has anybody overall, keeping an eye on the house since the kidnapping?
Oh, we have our eyes everywhere.
Indeed, I am so sorry that was a stupid question. Alright then, do you happen to know if anybody after the kidnapping or recently has been seen going back to the house?
I do, and I will get into that. However, just checking that this is the only information you require, as in information on that kidnapping.
That, and I am curious about what jobs you have to offer me, so to speak.
I see.
But I'm also curious about any other news concerning, say, the Blue Hair Samurai, or she gives this big sigh. She goes, "It appears my brother is alive."
Yes, yes, I can definitely provide that information for you. However, such information will, of course, always have a price.
Of course, but of course, I also can do favor for favor. So, what job do you have for me?
Well, considering your persuasion and temperament, we only really have one job that's available.
Is it interesting?
It is interesting.
She gives a bit of a eager grin and she goes, "Well then, of course, whatever price I need to pay for is fine. But that's really all I really require." Cicada, do you want to ask anything? I'm paying.
What do I want to ask? She She does want to know more information about this fire cult. But that's about it.
That's the cost of the information you're asking for, Jezebel. And you want to ask about the fire cult, right?
Yeah.
That'll be 20 GP.
Oh my goodness. I have no money.
I just take it out and I hand it to him.
So the job,
Cicada, why you got no money?
if you ain't
'Cause
got no
I
money,
spent it all on magic thing.
if you ain't got no money, take your broke ass home.
Oh,
This is what I,
spent
save.
it all on magic.
This is what I save. 'Cause I save my money for information.
Anyway, so before I give this information to you, and I know you are good for doing the job, which is why I'm willing to give it to you in advance. However, you know the punishment if you decide to duck out of the job after having been given the information. As such, I will give you the job ahead of time, so you may decide if you wish to just pay for it or if you are willing to do the job.
All right then, let's hear it.
There is a small shrine in the mountains of Nazia, just south of the Elf City. In those mountains, at the shrine, there is an artifact of great power. We have been tasked with obtaining it and quietly getting rid of a certain dragon that happens to be in that area.
She slightly narrows her eyes as she says, "You do know that I can only kill certain dragons, correct?"
It's an ice dragon.
You wish to kill a nice dragon.
Yes, we wish to get the artifact from the shrine and kill that ice dragon. And
Oh,
that is
ice
the
dragon.
Ice dragon.
Yes.
For some reason, I thought you said nice.
I was actually gonna ask for clarity on that.
A nice dragon isn't a type of dragon. But yes, it's
No,
an
I
ice.
think it is.
It's an ice dragon. ICE.
Gotcha. Okay, gotcha. Ah, she says, and then she gives us color. She goes, "Dragons are hard to kill, but this artifact could make it easy."
You are, of course, entitled to any loot you find along the way, as long as it's not the artifact.
Aw, keeping all the good stuff to yourself. That's not fair.
It is part of the job that we retrieve it.
She gives a bit of a pout with a huff, and then she thinks about it. She goes, "I am traveling with companions, as you can see with my dear Cicada here. I'll have to talk to them first to see if they want to come. But it has been some time since we've had an actual job, and this will technically be a paying job, so to speak. But the question is, am I allowed to bring them, or do I have to go by myself?"
You are allowed to bring your allies, but of course you're not allowed to say exactly where you got the job from. Confidentiality and all. And naturally, this is a no questions about the artifact sort of deal. You are to retrieve the artifact and kill the dragon, and then you get the information. You are, of course, free to go and discuss it with your allies and come back, but I cannot give you the information. At least I can give you some of it for what you've paid. But until you accept the quest, I cannot give you the rest of the information.
You should have a hard bargain, Diverton.
I have been in this business for a while, and I still have my head.
We both still have our heads, after all. But all right then. I will talk to my companions, because technically this information also concerns them, so to speak. Because I have a suspicion on what exactly is going on, but I don't want to assume, because assuming, of course, is not the smartest thing to do.
Of course, of course. Then he
But I
looks
will.
he looks to the guy who measured your feet and all that, and the guy has given a nod and has sat down to start preparing the shoes. Right. Your shoes will be ready in an hour. You have until then.
Thank you very much, Bertrand. It's so good to see you.
It's always a pleasure.
Goodbye.
Oh,
He rolls
and
arms out with grabby hands.
do let me know if you find any more of that poison. I happen to have found another client who is looking for some.
She goes a bit of thought. She goes, but I like carrying it around.
Just give it some
Makes for good.
thought.
Fine, I will. But for now, I'll just do one thing at a time. The information you give me better be good. The fact they're taking on an ice dragon, dear.
Of course, of course. And, as for the price, if you happen to give me any of that poison, I can give you 1,500 for it.
A lot of money.
So yes, do give it some thought. With that said, I shall see you when your shoes are ready.
Not always about the money, dear. You know how much I love the hunt better, she says, but then she does give a wink. She goes, but very tempting. I will consider it. Thank you.
Feel free to get some snacks from the bakery. They're selling cinnamon rolls.
Ooh! She gives an excited grin and she grabs the case. She goes, let's get some free snacks and go. We'll be back in an hour.
Right. And, yeah, you head on out. And yes, they are selling cinnamon rolls.
God, now I'm hungry in real life.
Oh my-
Had a lot to eat today.
Yeah, so
Can I like headcanon that Clora's playing this music and then they can just hear it across the city or something?
Sure. Regardless,
Okay.
you get your cinnamon rolls. They're only like, I'd say, I mean, sugar is a little uncommon, so I'd say 5 silver each.
dang. I'm going to try to
Yeah,
sneak
I
a few
can
extras.
get. I can get cinnamon.
Oh, are you sure, dear?
Yeah. I have
So-
silver.
You head back to the others?
Yep. As we're walking, though, I do look at this cat. She goes, I'm sorry about that, dear. It's a little bit of a thieves thing, so to speak. But if everybody decides, if you can, try not to say too much at the moment. Like I said, confidentiality is a big thing, and I don't know how everybody would feel about taking on another dragon. So, if you don't mind, just kind of keeping things a little hush hush for a bit, I'd really appreciate it.
My
So-
lips are sealed. If I
You-
had lips.
You rejoin with the others who are currently teasing Elnath, who is still complaining about having to pick up trash.
Clora's playing music instead of teasing.
Great.
You're
Still?
still teasing
Normalizing
Elmi?
music.
Oh, you guys would be bored by now.
I was. Then Cora started playing music, so now I'm just teasing Cora.
Aw, without me? So
I didn't-
unfair.
That was a sour note.
Why does
Flora.
everyone hate Clora's music?
You know you like it.
That was another sour note.
Well, if you guys are done with your teasing for the moment, I might have found us a job.
Oh?
Is it
Cora
away from
continues
today?
playing the music without focusing on it because she just does. She's a bard.
So, do you discuss it out in the open?
I mean, just about to
course
say.
not.
So, since I have the idea of a job, I can tell you about it, but best talk about this quietly.
Okay. Clara stops playing the music.
Hmm.
Since we can't really have her any
She
fans
doesn't-
following.
Cicada? You was...
Nah, it's nothing.
Okay. So where do you guys go?
What would be the best place to talk with confidentiality?
Well, you already
Is it
know
down
that.
here?
5 Commerce Way.
Everybody's talking at once. I didn't hear a thing.
You already know where that is. 5 Commerce Way. Where the old elf is.
Ah, right. All right then.
You know, the one that Korax knows.
Mm-hmm.
Wait. Elmeth calls out, "Don't leave me!"
You'll be fine.
It shouldn't take any more. It shouldn't take any more than all of 5 minutes, grandfather. You'll be all right. The guards are keeping an eye on you, for better or worse.
He just gives a sad face. So,
Suck it up, Buttercup.
I love you. Bye.
you knock on the door, and once more, the old elf, sort of glances at you. Yes, can I help you?
We'd like to check
Oh,
up
no,
on your
she
garden.
doesn't remember.
You want to help with my garden again?
Gotta make sure it's still good, right?
No. Yes, I suppose so. He opens the door and lets you in. I'll start on the tea then.
Sounds good. Thank you, dear.
And you're free to do whatever.
Oh, just
Go in the garden
bye.
to talk.
Jezebel sighs, glances over to everybody, crossed arms over her chest. She goes, "So yes, I have a job for us to do, and it will give us the information that basically we require. One, concerning," she points to Corax, "who's been probably entering your house at night, dear. Or who's been entering your house lately to probably keep those wards up."
Okay.
Not only that, but also information for myself based off of my brother, where he's at, which I'm going to kick his ass. The first sight of him. But also she points to Cicada. These, what are they called again, dear?
What are you
Cinnamon
referring
rolls.
to? Out of character.
Well, not the cinnamon rolls. The
Cinnamon rolls.
the cultists.
Fire cult.
So yes, a lot of information that we could obtain thanks to my wonderful and dear Bertrand, who I've managed to see again after some time. Good to see he's doing well. Thing is, we have to do a job for him.
What would that job be?
So,
Treasure hunt.
yes, basically, it is a treasure hunt. We define an artifact, and we need to use it to kill an ice dragon.
To clarify, you're not using it to kill the ice dragon. You're
Well-
getting it and killing the ice dragon.
Yeah, like Korax pulls out Harlequin. Oh, me packing an ice sword. Great. Puts it back away. Puts it back.
Jezebel pats her frostbane. Get in line, dear.
We do still have Rimbane's sword.
That only work. And by the time a dragon's vitality is by the time a dragon's vitality is low enough for it to work, it's basically already dead. If out of character, if you look at the description, that it doesn't do anything unless you get a nat 20, and then that only happens if your enemy already has less HP than you.
Then we're gonna need to come up with a plan.
So, I take it from your statements that you want to do this job?
Killing a dragon sounds like a good way to blow off steam right now.
Not just the dragon, dear. We also must retrieve the artifact and give it to Bertrand.
Did you say what this
So you
artifact
can
was?
find it.
No, you did not,
You can
unfortunately.
keep anything else.
It seems like a relic of
Guys,
something.
guys, cicada.
Uh, he did say you can keep anything else you find in there except the artifact.
Treasure!
A dragon's hoard just for us.
How are we going? How are we going to know the artifact when we see it?
Once I tell Bertrand that we have accepted the request, he should give me more information. He only gave me a brief idea at the moment until I actually accept.
Hmm.
So you should be able to at least give me an idea of what it looks like rather than have us go in blindly. Because of course we are going after a dragon, which will not be easy, but not impossible either. And Bertrand has
Yeah.
never set me up on a job that he knows that I cannot do. Or at least won't fail at, so to speak. But just keep in mind that if we say, depending on what the artifact is, and if we don't do this job, I might die. She just says casually with a shrug.
Don't sound so happy about it.
Such honor among thieves.
Well, of course, dear. This is a request from a thieves guild compared to a regular task from an adventurers guild. This is something that needs to be done. So there might be a catch. I won't lie. There usually is. But if we do accept this, then that means that we are set to do this. If not, then my life is indeed on the line.
But all they want us to do is kill a dragon.
The artifact, really, but the dragon as well, yes. And of course, you get treasure out of it too if you don't die.
I cannot, in good conscience, I cannot, in good conscience, hand over over a powerful relic to a thieves guild. Not, not after when my father, not when I just found out that my father has been taking bribes from the mafia, and I told him to stop, or else I would out myself as a wild mage and basically torch the family's reputation forever.
Jezebel actually looks a bit surprised by that. She goes, "Really now?"
Won't that be bad for you, though?
It is the only leverage I had there, and yes, it would also be quite bad for him. After all, if the it would destroy my family's reputation. But if the family is going to behave like this, then perhaps their reputation is no longer my concern.
Well, Jezebel looks thoughtful, and then she looks at Caraxia. She goes, "Well, if you cannot trust the Thieves Guild, then trust me. I'm the one who's going to be giving it to Bertrand anyway, and I trust Bertrand."
I suppose. Do you have any idea what he intends to do with it?
Again, until I actually accept this mission, he can't tell me much.
Whatever else. I suppose until we know more about the artifacts, I'm willing to hear them out. As for the dragon, and a white dragon would be a danger to any people in the area. That I will take part in gladly.
All right, then. Well, like I said, I am part of this group, and I know that this is a bit of a sketchy thing, don't get me wrong. So I'd rather make sure everybody's okay with this, because like I said, once we accept this mission from the Thieves Guild, we cannot back out. At least if one of you all do, then that's fine. I'll just end up probably being killed later, but yes. So, I'm, in a way, putting my trust in you all.
And I am trusting you to back out then and there. If you get the information and decide that this relic is too dangerous to be in their hands.
She gives a bit of a smirk and she goes, "Very well then. Foxy, Chlora."
Well, Corax did say, Corax did say, hey, we need to keep the white dragon from being a threat to anyone in the area.
Nice.
Treasure!
If it's a silver dragon, then I am not killing it under any circumstances. Jezebel.
Oh no, dude. That's why I asked first. After all, remember what I'm protecting. She says, like as a matter of fact tone. That's why I asked first, because Burton knows what I'm protecting. He wouldn't send me after a dragon. He wouldn't send me after prey that he knows I'm protecting.
Okay, good. So it's a white dragon. Kill it.
And of course, as you just said, if it was a task for something like that over a dragon that I'm protecting, I would immediately said no, and probably been a little bit upset, but also asked them exactly who put up that request. Because as you all know, it is my job to be the prey to find the hunters that are hunting the prey that I love, so to speak. But this is just an ice dragon and an artifact.
You really need to find a way to simplify that mantra. That was a mouthful.
What can I say? I have a big mouth.
Like
That kind of
Corax
plays
dragon.
counter to your job description.
So she just kind of says, going back to the subject at hand, is that a yes or a no? You want to do this job?
Conditionally, yes.
I'm fine with it.
And you, Cicada, are you alright with this as well?
Yeah.
And you, Miss Commander? She looks down to Charlotte with a big old grin.
Told you not to call me that. I didn't earn that. Secondly, I'm fine with whatever as long as we leave this city.
Well, I'm gonna have to come back to get the job done, but indeed, I hold that sentiment, which is why. Plus, it has been a little while since we actually done an actual job, and this is technically a job that will give us benefits. Like I said, whatever we find, we can keep. The only thing we cannot keep is the artifact. Sounds like a fair deal.
Very well. Before we go, though, I'd like to finish one thing that's been on my mind lately.
You have the floor.
It's nothing with you guys. It's just something that should have been done when I came in here.
I would say I want some of that dragon's hoard to go into paying my grandfather's fine, but he won't tell me how much it amounted to.
It's for the best. He did assault several people. After all, Ryu, let him work it off.
And to be fair, dear, we have to go a bit south from the city, so by the time we come back, depending how long this takes, he might already be done.
They sentenced him to a month of community service and an unspecified fine.
You never know. Like I said, we're taking on an ice dragon, so we're going to need to be prepared, and this could take a while. But either way, I have your answers. Me and Cicada will be right back. We gotta go pick up our shoes. Let's go, Cicada.
Charlotte would head out as well.
There's no chance. My grandfather sure as hell isn't gonna get let out early on good behavior, if that's what she's thinking.
Oh no, she's not thinking that.
So,
Then perhaps all this hard labor will teach him a valuable lesson.
first up, Charlotte, what are you doing?
Head to the guard station.
Alright. You head over there, they welcome you.
I would like to speak to a medical personnel. One in particular name under the name Mary.
Mary, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Let me just check something. Do you mean Rosemary?
No, I think her name's just Mary.
Alright, yeah, sorry.
Rosemary is alive. Or,
Yeah,
whatever.
there was a lot of them, so, I wasn't
Yeah.
sure if that was that one or not. Alright,
Yeah.
let me pull up the list. It's somewhere in here. I didn't accidentally delete it, did I?
I messaged you it.
Yeah, it's just... it's been a bit, so Yeah, but I made a proper full thing, remember? With colored pictures.
Oh, I didn't find it in there. I think you were drawing it and just never posted it to me.
I know I posted it. It was this long image. Let me see. Let me just see if I can find it. In the meantime, Jezebel?
Me and Cicada going back over to go pick up our shoes.
Alright, you head on in.
Hey, I'm almost done with this garden.
You head on in. They, say hi. They welcome you in, and soon enough you're speaking to Birkin.
I'm gonna try to hug him again.
He of course dodges.
Mm. She sighs upset and then she gives a smile. She goes, "All right, well, I talked to our party and I believe we are indeed going to buy the shoes."
Alrighty. Very well. Then I shall give you further details. And the guy comes out and he begins finishing up your shoes. Fitting them, making sure they fit well, that sort of thing. So, let us start with the first bit of information. The quest is to find a crystal ball of mind reading that will be in the lair of the ice dragon.
Ooh. She looks starry eyed just thinking about it.
It's the ultimate scrying orb.
You are to bring that back here, and the rest of the treasure is all yours.
Now, quick question. Is killing the ice dragon required or is it optional?
It's required, yes.
All right then.
We would like to be able to head up that way to scout out the area a bit after the fact, but we cannot do that while it's around.
True, very true. So, are we required to bring the artifact over here, or can we just leave it there and I just tell you that it's clear and you go get it?
I would like you to bring it here as proof of your, as proof that you finished the job.
All right then.
Jin.
It's going to be very hard not to have people tempted to use that, that's for sure, but I'll find a way.
Right.
She, of course, is talking about
Question.
herself too.
Sorry. Question. What kind of ice dragon is it?
You're a regular white dragon?
How old is it though?
It's an adult.
Oh.
You're
Okay.
definitely you're definitely sending us on a very hard mission. I hope you know that, dear.
The information you're asking for is quite difficult.
All right, well, we'll hopefully find a way. If I don't return back, you know what you need to do with my family, correct?
Of course.
Good. She says with another shrug, and then just looks down as he looks down towards the shoes. Anything else you need us to do?
No, just provide that orb and kill the dragon, and the rest is all yours.
She gives a bit of a sigh. She goes, this will not be an easy task. And to be fair, I do have two morally active party members.
Mm-hmm.
But you're for certain that it's only an ice dragon, correct? Because if it's anything else that you know of, uh, not that I'm doubting you, dear, but I do, need
It
to be
does
careful.
sound like you're kind of doubting me. You can relax. I know you do not kill good aligned and neutral aligned dragons.
Well, it's hard to trust people who don't let me hug them. She gives a huff with her hands on her hips.
Very well.
Really? She now looks giddy.
5 seconds.
Oh, Bertrand! And she grabs him, squeezes him tight. She goes, I knew I could rely on you. I
One,
just wanted to hug. I wanted to
2,
hug you.
3, 4, 5.
She gives him she has him
And
go.
he just steps back and then just gives a smile. Now will you please stop asking about that?
Okay, I'm sorry. I just love hugging things I like. I love hugs a kid all the time.
Yes, and you said you're taken.
Hugs? There's a thing as friendly hugs.
Mm-hmm. Not in my
We are
culture, there
friends
isn't.
after all.
Not in my culture, there isn't. Now,
You didn't realize whose family I'm from? We're a very affectionate family, thank you very much. But very well then.
now, you may ask your questions and I shall answer them.
Any idea who's been going through the house lately?
Also, do remember to subtract the gold as well.
I did already.
Good. Well, there was the guards going through the house to quietly conduct the investigation, and then there was Rudy's brother who was also investigating.
Her brother? Really now?
Yes.
I think they're
Which
talking about
brother?
Korax.
Yes.
You mean the older one?
Yes, Corax.
Right. Alright then.
There has not been much activity previously before that. For the most part, the house just sat there. It seemed as if what was inside was of no longer any interest to any parties involved.
Alright then. So my suspicions are out of the park. Question still stands, who exactly put up those wards, but alright then, thank you.
The question on who put those up is one you already know the answer to. Reverend Nolina, the advisor to the LSA family.
Just well, as she kind of widens her eyes and she gives a smile, she goes, really now? Corax is gonna love to hear this.
I smell a prime suspect.
Do you have any other questions?
This one involves dear Cicada here. Do you happen to know anything about the sun cultists?
Yes, they were a cult. They were a cult that lived up north, where the rocks got the sun, and there's a cave up north where there's a large flat slab that blocks the sunlight, and the sun cult were based on top of that before they all eventually were wiped out by another cult.
Wiped out, you say?
Yes.
No remnants?
The Earth cult claimed that that rock was sacred because it's part of the Earth, and the Fire cult claimed it was sacred because it reflects the sun. They fought, and only one survived.
And yet this symbol is from a sun cultist, so either there are remnants that were hidden away, such as us, as thieves, or someone's trying to use past magic. This should be interesting to find out more about.
Do
then why is it-
remember that the kidnapping was around a year or so ago.
How long had the cultists been wiped out?
Oh, I'd say a few months. Coincidentally, the Earth cultists were also wiped out shortly after by a group of adventurers.
Besides
Yeah,
us?
about
Oh,
that.
I'm almost offended.
No, it was you.
She gives him a knowing smirk
Yeah, I
like,
thought
I
so.
know. she's just
What
she's
other?
being sarcastic.
You have further questions?
Well, this could probably wait, but I do want to know what you know of my brother, so to speak, and the blue hair samurai. But I know we don't have a whole lot of time left, and I'd rather get this job done before I get more of my information I would like.
Coincidentally, I actually had a talk with a blue-haired samurai recently.
Oh, really? His name happened to be Tetsu.
He happened to be asking about your brother as well.
She
Where,
kind of grows silent for a minute, narrowing her eyes.
whereupon he got the location, which I will be giving you, and immediately moved off in that direction.
Did he happen to seem malicious when he asked about my brother?
Not that I could say, but you know how people are able to hide their character. But
She
yes,
sighs and then she goes, where is technically my brother located?
he is currently down in the depths of the Underdark at a city of spiders.
We knew about that.
So he is going after him. Interesting. Well, I can't exactly say don't give any more information out to my brother about others that ask. But then again, if they pay, unfortunately, I cannot counteract that.
We are a thieves' guild after all, and we pay in information.
I know, I know. The only thing is that I wasn't aware my brother was alive recently, until recently. But then again, perhaps I probably was afraid to ask exactly if anybody else was still looking for him. Or at least his body, so to speak.
Do you have any further questions?
Perhaps the requests, she says, looking thoughtful. If you can find any information on this Tetsu, at least any more information you can, I would appreciate it.
I shall let you know if I do.
Thank you. Her smile looks strained as she actually does look concerned now, but she smiles either way.
Well, if you are certain that you are content with the answers you have received for your payment and quest, then we shall end this transaction.
Sounds good, she says, trying to perk up, and then she gives a grab hands. Give me shoes.
They're already on your feet.
Even better.
Jezebel, I have almost no gold, so I owe you 20 gold pieces.
Oh no, dear. No, you're fine. After all, this is a legal shoe transaction between customer and Patreon.
Right, we're just making some shoes.
Indeed, and by the way, you look so cute in shoes, she says as she pinches Aketa's cheeks.
So, leaving that aside for the moment, I've pulled up the list, Neku, so we can continue that now.
Okay, but it's a little bit past time.
We can go a little bit longer.
Okay.
So yeah, the guy pauses a bit as he looks over the list and he says, Mary. Oh yes, Mary was one of these soldiers under your command, correct?
She was, yes.
I'm afraid she is one of the soldiers that went missing alongside you. However, Lucy is still around if you require a medic. And Neku? Lucy is one of the soldiers that was killed in action. In your other world.
I see. Lucy. Yes, I would like to see her.
He nods and then he writes down some notes and he escorts you over. And she looks over and she goes, Charlotte! Oh, I'm sorry. Sir, it's good to see you're alive and well.
At ease. I just wanted a talk.
She, comes over and sits down so you're, eye level. Of course, sir.
To those who have survived this long, I just want to say I'm proud of each and every one of you. Passes on to the others in my old squad.
Of course, sir. And she pauses for a moment. Permission to hug you.
Granted.
Lucy then just opens her arms and pulls you into a big bear hug.
Scar lets out like a soft squeak and then pats her shoulder after a moment has passed.
She steps back and gives a salute. Come by soon, sir. Well,
When this
ma'am.
is all over, Lucy, I would like to talk to everyone again.
We shall be here, sir. Ma'am.
That never got old. Alrighty.
I'm sorry, sir, but it's habit because we're supposed to call you all sir and sorry, ma'am.
It's like I'm talking to a ghost almost.
Well,
Anyway,
you were as white as a ghost after all. I like your new highlights. They suit you.
thank you, Lucy.
Take.
Now, report to the others and just let them know that I'm on leave for a while.
Aye, ma'am.
That was really hard, I can tell. Charlie just smirks and walks away.
She almost stammers a bit, but just gives a yes, ma'am. And you head out. So, is there anything anyone else wants to do before we wrap this session up?
Ryu is going to inform his grandfather of the errand.
Right.
You see, it's already in the chat.
Right. I read it, but then I forgot about it. Oh, please. No, you can't leave me here.
It's serious, grandfather.
Rue, please. I'll come with you. You can just sneak me out with you.
About the dragon.
No.
No. It's too dangerous.
You do realize I'm older than you, right? And you're the one saying it's too dangerous.
You do realize I'm a kitsune in service to the god of protection, right?
You do realize I'm a wizard, right?
You do realize
Exactly.
I'm a kitsune, right?
You
Have you seen Wizards' Constitution scores? They're abysmal.
You're not gonna let me go no matter what I say, are you?
It's not a matter. It's not a matter of what I'll allow. It's more a matter of what they'll allow. Ryu points out one of the guards.
The guard picks his nose in full view of the public.
Ew.
Ew.
I'm sure there are others. I'm sure there are others besides him.
Yeah, there's a couple.
Point is, grandfather, I can't let you get into any more trouble than you already got yourself into with the poppycocks and whoever your book friend was.
All right. I shall remain here then.
Tell you what, it there's we've heard. Tell you what, if I see anything valuable, I'll bring it as a souvenir.
Thank you.
Or it'll be all mine.
Aye.
Just stay safe, grandfather, please, for me.
I will try.
Thank you.
Reverend
So,
Nolina.
Huh?
Sorry, replying to Ninja.
Now Ryu is going to approach one of the guards and informs them. My friends and I are going to be leaving the city for an errand. I don't know when we'll be back, but if you could keep an eye on my grandfather, make sure he's safe.
You do realize my job is to literally watch him pick up trash, right?
I know, but he's my grandfather. I just
You gotta
you know
relax,
how it
kid.
is.
I am a trained guard, don't you worry. Rest assured, your grandfather will not get out of my sight for as long as my shift is.
As the level 1 guard, he's doing his job.
Well, if in the off chance that anything happens, I'm just a sending spell away.
Of course, sir.
My name is Ryu, if that's necessary.
Alright, sir.
Thank you.
So, is there anything else anyone wants to do before we wrap this session up?
No, I'm good.
I do want to tell Quark something, but I need to go. It's getting late.
Is it gonna be quick? Because you can do it really quick if you want.
More so, I'm waiting. I kind of want to just ask him if he knows the name, and then just kind of like end it there.
Sure,
just to
we
get his
can-
reaction next time.
Sure, we can do that, just so you don't forget. Right?
All right. So real quick, Jezebel kind of like goes back with their new shoes to the group, and then she'll suddenly, as they walk in, even though she's grinning, she grabs Quark's arm and pulls him back inside the house or wherever he's at. She, sorry, still trying to get used to that.
Oh wow, this is. Oh wow, this is very forward, Jezebel. Like she says, very like flatly, like he just like non-committally, like.
Hush you! I got some information for you. She says in a like sternly motherly tone, so to speak. She stops briefly with arms over her chest, looking actually kind of serious. And then she kind of sighs. She goes, "So I got some information for you. Let's just say that Bertrand said that he did see someone else enter the house. Now, don't take this with a grain of salt. I'm not entirely sure all, but we might have a suspect for you on who actually did kidnap your sister." Do you know the name? What? I cannot pronounce the name. What's the name again? I'm sorry.
Fevrenolina.
Friend Alina.
Fevrenolina.
Yeah, that. I'm tired. I can't think anymore.
Oh yes, I know that name. My father's advisor.
She gives a bit of a shrug. She goes, "Well, that's why." She goes, "It seems that she was also seen entering the house."
To clarify, no. It was,
Or the one who made
yeah.
the
They're the one who made the wards.
reward. Sorry, excuse me. Again, tired mind.
You're fine.
Apparently, they're the one that made the ward, not Elmith.
The wards around the house, to clarify.
Yeah.
Interesting, but I'm not certain. Interesting. Of course, all that is never anything more than speculation.
Well, like I said, take it as you will. It's just what I was told. So if you want to look into that, that is your information. That is your business. I decided I would say.
If ever with cult connections, I wouldn't even know where to start looking for that.
Oh, and then quickly, she also tells them of the this, and then the fact that they're wiped out, and they're wiped out by the Earth, and then we wipe them out.
Hmm. And in 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 the fire in the fire and you said the fire cultists were wiped out.
About a year ago, indeed. And then after that,
Very odd.
apparently,
That's very well. That's very odd because because well, fire cultists. Well, it may not be the same one, but a cult of the violet flame. eh, what a made has been making trouble in Lundrock far more recently than that.
remnants, perhaps,
Maybe.
or
Well,
or
what are they?
even worse, descendants. Probably that followed the teaching or heard about the teaching and made a new form. That's going to be fun.
Maybe, but whatever these violet flame cultists were, they didn't seem to have anything whatsoever to do with the sun.
Well, either way, I thought I'd share what I've learned so far. I've also learned some personal things, but just thought I'd let you know what I heard. We might as well start preparing to face this dragon because apparently it's an adult. Oh, excuse me. And again, tired mind. What's the artifact called again?
Crystal Orb of Mind Reading?
Crystal
Thank
ball.
you.
Yeah.
Crystal Orb of Mind Reading is the item we're actually going to be seeking out.
Crystal
see.
ball.
Crystal Ball. But we've already accepted the job, so think it over while we prepare, because this will not be an easy task. I will not lie, but it should be interesting.
So. Or did they say what they wanted it for?
I'm afraid not, no.
Because.
But their main goal really is to also the artifacts, but also for us to clear out the ice dragon.
That is something I'm happy enough to do. As for the crystal ball, I mean, it doesn't seem dangerous. The ability to reading minds is a very simple magic.
Indeed, and as I said, you can trust me.
And so I shall.
Also,
Now,
Good.
really quick, just because I forgot, did you decide to sell the poison?
Not yet.
Okay.
I'm going to
Sorry.
wait until after we finish this, and I'm going to consider it. Yeah, that's why I didn't say anything because I'm considering it.
Okay, correct.
One thing at a time.
it, and pulls out ice sword. I don't suppose there's a fast way. I don't suppose there's a fast way to get not ice version of our weapons.
This is your city, dear. You tell me.
And that is where,
Nothing we can afford at the moment.
and that is where,
Although,
go on.
pulls out the very deadly poison of which she still has several doses.
Several? Didn't you only have one left after you used it? Well,
on the purple worms. Yeah, I have the one left. Would this work on a dragon? I wonder.
well, with that said, that's where we will wrap this session up. Thank you all for tuning in. We will see you all next time. Bye bye!
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
So